maybe within their own neighborhood, meeting and talking, just supporting each other?
There is this one woman, but she hasn't really publicized yet because of the fact that so many events are happening this week. But after this weekend, I was initially going to cancel this, but then I got so many emails from people saying, we need this to try and get some closure to overcome this fear that we have of the water and what it did to us. So I said, okay, we're going through with this. So for 6 months, I've been working hard, and we're one day away from this happening.
Well, you mentioned Island Park. Felix was living in Island Park at the time. Maybe he can give you a little rundown on what happened in his neighborhood.
A lot like yours. The feet. There's like 14 feet of water in some spots. Around my house was 8 to 10 feet. So that was enough to finish off where I lived, and lost our cars. And even now, there's still a lot of homes that have not been rebuilt. And
that's the thing that's the horrible part about it. Nobody is building because the rules have not been put out yet. Nobody knows how high to go yet. There are so many houses that are just left. People just left them and they took off. And
I understand that some of the homes, because I know it in Oceanside it happened, Department of Safety or the town said that the homes have to be raised because there's no way that they will be able to rebuild or insure the homes unless the foundations are raised.
Exactly. And it's going now at 17 feet. That's pretty high.
Yes, it is.
A friend of mine in Long Beach is having his house now raised 8 feet.
Wow.
Which is required by the, I guess, I don't know, but it's FEMA. I think the FEMA regulation.
Yeah, I think it's the flood maps, how they code you out, and the zone that you're in depends on the elevation of your house.
Well, I think it was very interesting that prior to Sandy, certain areas were not labeled flood zones.
Right.
But as soon as Sandy hit, a couple of months after that, they redid all the zoning, and now everybody is, well, you'd be foolish not to have it.
Exactly.
But they're forced to have flood insurance.
Mm-hmm. And it's an arm and a leg.
Yes. You know, it's like any other kind of insurance. You pay, and then you put in a claim, and then you're told that you are a risk.
Right.
So there's always a possibility that the company is going to drop you because you put in a claim, and it's a legitimate claim.
Right.
Who can argue that?
Well, I believe the flood insurance is actually for it's government insurance.
Well, that's
but still,
the one that I got. Yeah, FEMA offered it to me for 3 years for free.
Yeah.
Well, that's because of the area in which you live and where you were hit.
Right.
I know we would charge a certain amount. I wouldn't call it extravagant by any means, but I know some people that are paying over $2,000 for flood insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, those people probably are required to raise their homes, and they don't want to. Or they can't physically, I don't know, but I know if you raise your house to certain heights, your insurance drops quite a bit. And also, if you don't, you know, they won't issue mortgages now for a lot of areas unless you raise your homes.
Right. If you take a ride through Rockaway now and you see the construction that's going on, there are some blocks like 130th Street, the block that was completely eaten up by fire. There are houses going up there that I'm not kidding. They look like skyscrapers compared to the rest of the houses on the block. They are up so high.
Because they have to be a certain elevation.
Right.
Yeah. It makes sense, you know. It's either that or don't rebuild.
And you know what happens to neighborhoods when you don't rebuild?
Yeah.
Well, Lily, Godspeed. We wish you only the best, and with your health as well.
Thank you.
On top of everything else.
Thank you.
Is there anything that you'd like to say? Any help you're looking for to tell our audience?
Well, I have taken basically care of everything. The only thing that I am looking for is 4 to 5 people that know how to play taps. Believe it or not, we are stuck. We cannot find anybody that knows how to play taps, either on a bagpipes or a trumpet. And we're dying to find somebody to do it.
Have you gone to the police department?
Yeah, I did, and they said no. I called the fire department. No, they're helping with the boat. I asked around. I asked with the high school. They never got back to me. So it's really, really tough. I'm
very surprised about the high school, because I'm sure that there's somebody, even the teacher himself or herself, who could probably play taps on trumpet.
Yeah, I left quite a few messages, but they never returned any messages, which was a little, it kind of hurt.
It's rather disheartening.
Yeah.
It really is.
You're not asking for much,
No, especially under the situation and what we're doing at the beach, and it is a community effort. I just needed 4 or 5 students to do this for me.
I have this gentleman who plays in a band wherever there is the festivals and churches.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll see if they've got anybody that could help you guys out.
I'd appreciate it very much.
I'll mention it to him after the show's over.
I'd appreciate it.
Or unless, Don, if you're listening, call in after we're done here. I need a favor from you. I can't promise you they may have an engagement, but I'll see if he's got anybody to play the trumpet.
Great, I appreciate it so much.
Well, Lily, you just take care of your mom, take care of your health.
I will, thank you. And anybody out there, you're welcome to come to Rockaway on Sunday and help us. Just stand support with us and say a prayer that this never happens to Rockaway again.
And get ready for that grandchild that you're waiting for.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know about that. My grandson is coming in February.
Lots of luck, lots of luck.
You.
Only the best.
Thank you
for
much.
calling.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That was Lily. And we want to thank Lily again for calling. And
she truly was very informative. It's just a shame you have a community reaching out for a little bit of assistance, and like I said at the beginning,
hold on, please. Go ahead.
Like I said to her at the beginning, the bottom line is when you want something done, it's always got to be done. Usually, the only one you can count on is yourself.
Hi, you're on the air. You're trucking to heaven, and who are we speaking to?
Hey, it's Carol. How are you?
Carol, how are you?
Good. Listen, I sent an email. She could try the local VFW. I belong to a chapter here that has an honor guard that attends different functions, and one of them usually does play a song that that song she wanted, taps.
Mm-hmm.
Just an idea.
VFW, that's not a bad idea. I don't know if she's contacted them.
I sent an email. Give it a go. Someone knows.
That's a great idea, Carol.
Or even maybe the American Legion too.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean,
go to military funerals and they play it there.
I mean,
Guard.
Rockaway always has St. Patrick's Day parades, Columbus Day parades. I'm just surprised. I'm sure they could find somebody.
I would think so. Someone up there has to. It's New York.
Certainly a noble cause. What can you say?
Where are you calling from, Carol?
Hot Springs.
That's Carol.
Oh, that's Carol.
That's Carol who called before.
Okay, hi, Carol. I'm sorry.
Hey, Felix.
You said you were gonna listen. I didn't know you were gonna call up.
Hey, what am I, chopped liver? Of course I'm gonna call.
What can I tell you, Carol?
I'm gonna be your what do you call it? Nightmare. What do they say? What's the expression?
Well, worst nightmare?
Yeah, I'm gonna be your worst nightmare. I'm gonna.
No, you'd be my best dream.
As long as it's not wet.
What could I tell you? You're my best dream.
Yeah. All right. Well, if she's listening or whatever, you know how to contact her, or Tina does.
Well, I tell you what, when I get home tomorrow, when I get home later, I don't know if it's too late to call Lily, but I will call her tomorrow and let her know about the VFW and any lodges that might be in the neighborhood. Maybe they can help her.
I can't believe that there's no police organization that doesn't have somewhere.
I find that very surprising, because I know that the police have an honor guard, okay, and they play at all not only the police funerals, but at all these functions. I'm sure somebody out there could play the trumpet.
Definitely.
Or in this case, the bugle. All right, Carol, say hi to Shorty, all right?
Love it.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for calling.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was Carol. That was Carol from Hot Springs, Arkansas, an old buddy from Rockaway, listening in tonight. If anybody else is listening in, we welcome a call from you as well.
And if there are any people who play the horn,
yes, very important that
call in the show, and we will get you in contact with Lily.
I have a number at home, unfortunately. I don't, unless we can get it from.
No, well, we're not going to give anybody phone number out. They can call us, and we'll get in touch with her.
Okay, that sounds fair enough, right? But we are devoting the entire show, if possible, to survivors of Hurricane Sandy. Let us know what's going on in your neighborhood. I know we've been talking to two people for the better part of almost 30 minutes, but I think we have to remind you that our number is 516-665-1860. You can Skype us at truckingtoheaven, and you can email us at
mark@truckingtoheaven.com
or
felix@truckingtoheaven.com. And I want to tell you, I don't want to exclude people from New Jersey who were affected by Sandy.
And Staten Island.
And also all the other areas that were hit with all this terrible tragedies we've had this year. We had fires, we've had, I guess, besides the fires, what else have we had this year? It was really bad.
Well, there were the fires on the boardwalk in Jersey that destroyed 3 boardwalk blocks that were just rebuilt and reopened for this season, which was devastating.
We've had the fires in the West that were quite devastating, and all those storms that hit the Midwest.
You know, I know that for some people listening, if you're down in Florida, I know many of you live through this all the time. You may say, well, what's the big deal about Sandy? Sandy just was a devastating storm of the century, okay? And you're talking about an area which is not used to this kind of devastation. Not that I'm saying that you're ever used to it. You know, you can never really get used to it, but, you know, at least I know from friends who live in Florida, they have these storm gates that they put down, okay, that keep out as much of the water as possible. All right, at least you have, or my cousin in North Carolina, he's in the hurricane zone, and they board up their windows all the time. They're used to this. We're really not used to this here in New York. My sister lives on the 7th floor of an apartment building. What can I tell you? You know, while the waters coming up weren't that frightening when you're on the 7th floor, when everything in your apartment building goes down and you have no power whatsoever and you have to walk up and down 12 or 13 flights of stairs more than once in a day, okay, and there's no transportation to speak of. The Rockaway trains didn't start working until months, and I really mean months, after the storm had settled and gone.
And also I want to say the Rockaways is just full of retirees and nursing homes and you know,
Not to mention, of course, Breezy Point, which was also totally devastated. Now, I know that we are concentrating